channel 33 RPM.
Today, putting a decent stereo system together for under $100. Yes, it can be done. Be right back.
Channel 33 RPM, yeah, 33 RPM. Channel 33 RPM, yeah, final gear and more.
Hi guys, my name is Frank. Welcome to Sundays on channel 33 RPM. We are back in the workroom today, and that's because I want to show you how I put a full stereo system together for under $100. The stereo has a new home right here in the workroom. It's right there, I'm looking at it. It includes a turntable, CD player, receiver, cassette deck, speakers, the whole works. Hopefully I inspire you to do the same thing. That's coming up, but first a quick shout out to Mark Poppin over at Funky Moose Records. Mark invited me last week to be a guest on his podcast called Moose Tracks. We talked vinyl gear and more. I will leave a link to that below this video. Anyway, let's get on with the show. Check it out. Okay, the $100 stereo. I put this together using bits and pieces I've bought from thrift stores and from garage sales. And I've tried various combinations, and here is the final result. This is what I finally settled on. For the receiver, I really wanted to use the Pioneer 3400, which I recently showed you, but I paid $50 for that receiver, and if I used it, it would consume way too much of the $100 budget I set for myself for this particular project. Then I wanted to use this Sanyo receiver, which I recently picked up from a thrift store for $12.99, but when I tried it out, the right channel didn't work, so this one was out of the question. So instead, the building block for this system is the Technics amp and tuner that I showed you last week. I got these for $5 each or $10 for the pair at a garage sale earlier this summer. The units were made in Japan, as far as I can tell, in the early 1980s, and the amp has a phono input, which was essential for this particular setup. Now the amp is hooked up to a pair of KEF speakers. I think that's how you pronounce it, K-E-F, KEF speakers. And I found these at the thrift store earlier this year, and I paid $30 for them. I'm gonna assume they're from the 1980s, and overall, these speakers sound fairly decent. Now we are up to $40, so let's add a turntable to the mix. The turntable is a Yamaha YP511. Built in the mid-1970s, this is a manual direct drive unit that weighs about 15 pounds. I picked it up at a thrift store last year for only $15, 1-5. So it did need a new cartridge and stylus, and luckily I had a Grado Black just laying around, and that's what I'm using on this turntable. Okay, we're up to $55 now. We still have wiggle room in our budget, so I wanted to add a cassette deck and a CD player. We are gonna add the Sony cassette deck to the mix. This is a 3-head unit manufactured in the mid-1990s. It was a near top-of-the-line model from Sony and includes B, C, S, and HX Pro noise reduction. It's missing the front of the cassette door, but I paid $25 for it, and at that price, I'm not gonna complain. This unit originally retailed for about $700 or $800. Okay, we're up to $80, and we're still going strong. The final piece of the puzzle is the CD player. This is a Kenwood DPR3080 carousel CD player. It's a midline model from the mid-1990s and another thrift store pickup. These sorts of CD players are easy to find nowadays. I picked it up for $15. Okay guys, I've turned the camera around. I have a bright fluorescent light above me, so hopefully it's not washing things out too much, but I do have the stereo system set up here. I gotta tell ya, it sounds fantastic, and for $95, it certainly didn't break the bank. Okay guys, my one piece of advice: if you are gonna do the thrift store thing, you need to be patient and you need to be persistent. 9 out of 10 times you will find absolutely nothing at all, but it's that 1 in 10 chance of finding something really good that makes it all worthwhile. Let me know what you thought of today's episode in the comments below. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a quick like, and if you haven't subscribed yet, click that button. You'll never miss another episode again. Thank you for your ongoing support. You guys all rock. Until next time, keep on spinning.